Hi everyone, today we are going to analyze two characters from the series Squid Game, number 222 and number 333. In this video, we will take a look at how their relationship evolved in the second season and what to expect in the third season. As we already know, number 333 was a popular YouTuber who encouraged investing in cryptocurrency, which turned out to be scam. Because of his bad investments, he and his followers lost a huge amount of money. The blogger was in a relationship with number 222, Jun-ho, who was pregnant with his child. He advised her to have an abortion and she agreed, but later changed her mind. She also decided to invest all her money in his cryptocurrency as he trusted him and believed that she and her child would need money for their future. However, she unfortunately lost all her savings, just like the rest of the blogger's followers, and was left with nothing. Later, we learned from their dialogues that he didn't know until the last moment that she had kept their child. In fact, she called him several times to let him know her decision, but he didn't answer her calls. For 6 months, she tried to get through to him and even started to think that he was no longer alive, all because many people had lost a lot of money due to his recommendations to invest their savings in crypto. The important thing is that if he had picked up the phone, she wouldn't have entered this brutal survival game. Here we see him playing with the recruiter. He is wearing a Panama hat to hide his face, as many people want to get even with him. But look at the mistake he makes while already in the game. When he asks for his phone to check on the crypto, he is shown on the big screen, after which he is recognized by his followers Tennis and number 124, who also invested all their funds in his cryptocurrency. But aside from them, Jun-ho will also notice him and keep an eye on him. It's time for the first game, and he still doesn't know that his ex-girlfriend who was pregnant is also in the game. He then votes to continue, unaware that she and their child are in great danger. But after he voted to continue, she finally approaches him and tells him that she wanted to leave the game, while he chose to stay. This is the key moment when he is shocked to realize that she is also here and still pregnant. He understands that she ended up in the game because of him, and perhaps if he had answered her calls earlier, neither of them would be here. If it hadn't been for his selfishness, things could have turned out much better for both of them. But the fact that he found out about her presence in the game will change his character, even though in her eyes he still remains the same selfish person and traitor. But what happens next? At the start of the second game, he approaches her and offers to join his team. For the first time, he shows care. We see how the character gradually changes and begins to worry not only about himself, but also about her. Risking herself and the child, she refuses, but I'm sure that later we will definitely see how they gradually get closer and unite for the sake of their unborn child. For example, at the end of the second game, during voting, number 333 votes and is marked with a cross. He finally starts thinking about someone else, about his girlfriend and child. Of course, Thanos and number 124 are waiting for him to make money for them from the games and are not happy with his decision to quit. But Mangi finally shows courage by deciding to leave the game for the sake of the pregnant Jun-ho. And later we all know what happened to the legendary Thanos and who took him down. What happened in the third game? Lee Min-gi finally acted the way she had expected him to. This happened when player number 195 didn't make it into the room in time, and Min-gi quickly ran in and shut the door, saving everyone. In fact, if he hadn't made it in time, they all would have died, including Kim Jun-hee. And here we realize that all this time he had been watching his girlfriend with the child. When he noticed this, he burst into the room, thereby saving them. It was the right thing to do, and number 195 wouldn't have had time to get in anyway. At the end of the third game, we see them holding hands and running into the room. This is a really cool moment that shows us he is not indifferent to her, and their relationship will develop rapidly in the third season. I think the third season will bring even more exciting moments that they will experience together. Do you remember that sharp object in the mother's hair? Maybe she will be the one to deliver the baby in the third season, and this object will come in handy. I think she could use it during childbirth, possibly for a C-section or something like that. There is also a theory that by the end of all the games, only number 333 will remain alive with the child, as childbirth could be difficult and Jun-ho may not survive the birth. Or maybe all three of them will survive and we'll see how their lives turn out outside the brutal game. Also, I want to point out the moment when the fortune teller tells Gi-hun that he's not in the game by accident. According to her, he has a mission and he could have a huge impact on what happens next. Specifically, he might somehow help the pregnant Jun-ho, maybe even sacrifice himself to save her. What do you think? Leave your feedback in the comments, and if you agree with me, subscribe to the channel. It will be interesting to see how many viewers share my views. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next video.